the thing a lot of people got to understand, like when it comes to relationships and marriage, is that somebody's gonna get bored, and it's usually the woman who gets bored. Like she's looking for a something. You know, and she's like when you try to take somebody who's used to a certain lifestyle, right? They're used to going out all the time. They're used to traveling or whatnot. They're used to having singles nights with their girlfriends. They're used to having guy friends all the time. You know what I'm saying? They're used to certain things. When you get with them and you get in a relationship with them and you marry them, a lot of times they let go of some of that or most of that. And it gets to a point to where they want to have that again. They want to have that again. Now, if this was something that was private, I don't think it would have been seen as a big deal. But I said it in my video, my initial video. I said Will Smith really, I think this bruises ego. No guy wants the world to know that he allegedly gave the other guy permission to be with his wife. I mean, and Will was never going to admit to that. And he's going to deny that. That's why he reluctantly went on this Red Table Talk show. I don't think he wanted to be on there, but he went on there because he wanted to clear the air. He wanted to. It was very funny. I had somebody comment in my video today. They said Will didn't force his wife to admit they were in a relationship. You're reaching, right? But he did force her to admit it was a relationship. She was trying to say it was an entanglement, whatever that means. I think that's the new hot word of the day, entanglement. He had to make her basically say, listen, yeah, it was a relationship. Because what does entanglement mean? Do y'all know what entanglement mean? Is that a new word for women to use when they step out of a relationship? You know what I'm saying? It's an entanglement. It was a situation. Didn't mean much. What's good, Gerald? You cannot tame these unhappy wives and girlfriends, man. If they want to leave, they're going to leave, man. If they want another guy, they're going to get with that other guy. They're going to build a rapport with somebody else, and they're going to groom your replacement. Most women out here are grooming replacements, whether y'all understand it or not, man. Some of these guys think that because they're laying pipe in the bedroom, that's all a woman wants. That's not all she wants, man. Women can get the dizzick from anywhere, okay? Women can get the dizzick from anywhere. But it's all about her mind. She wants to feel like she's with somebody who mentally she can learn from, who she has trust in, who she feels like she benefits from. But some guys naively believe that because they're quote unquote laying pipe to these women, that's going to make that woman faithful. That's going to make her want to stay with them. Bro, you're going to need more than that. You're going to need more than that. Or they are going to get bored because they actually want, not all, but a lot of times there are women that want to be with guys that have some answers. And if you ain't got the answers, if they talk to you and it's like talking to a wall, they're not learning anything from you. They have to tell you everything. They have to put you up on, game, so to speak. There's a lot of guys that are just naive, man. Women ain't going to stay because you laying the pipe. I'm sorry to tell some of you guys that believe that, but that's not true. Okay? That's not true. Women even cheat on men that are rich. So obviously money ain't going to keep a woman, faithful and not wanting to embarrass you in front of the world. Women want excitement. They want to feel like there's an air of unpredictability. That's why they will give chance to dysfunctional males, because those guys have an air of unpredictability. Right or wrong. So you be with somebody for over 20 years.
Jay, this is such a
you're
bad
gonna have
example for Willow
problems,
Man face palming dark skin tone.
Well, I think that Willow understands what's going on. She's not dumb. Willow understands what's going on. But I think with Will, she was. This to be real. Was Will Smith ever Jada Pinkett Smith's type? You got to ask yourself that. Was he really her type? I think she always and always will. I think that honestly, people have speculated whether the relationship was open. Honestly, I don't even care because, couples are going to do what couples do. But it was very clear that this wasn't a mutual situation to deal with August. They apparently were separated. Will didn't give his consent. But I think one of the things that made it bad is that, he befriended August or Augie or Og. What do you call him? Og? He befriended him. He felt that there was trust there. Meanwhile, this guy's trying to smash your wife. And I think that if this was done more privately, it may not have been a problem. But publicly, it's going to be a problem because Will Smith has a certain image that he wants out there. He doesn't want this image of a guy who's being cucked. He wants the image to be of a family man. They're able to keep their problems in house. They don't have these situations with the blogs and social media. Shit, AJ. It has been very much so downhill. And as I said before, I don't believe that he was ever really her type. He was a guy who was able to get with her because of his status and everything he had and his personality. I think that she liked that. But I do think that deep down she wants a Tupac. I think that love is still there. She even told Will to his face that she still had love for Tupac. What does that tell you about her mindset, man? She's constantly telling this guy he's inadequate without telling him he's inadequate.
They call men dog.
Right. Entanglement. Entanglement is a word that most women are going to be using now,
Will was caught up in a fantasy and he ignored the red flags.
Appreciate that, man. And absolutely he did because he was in love with her. He really liked her. He really wanted to be with her. So he was willing to ignore those red flags, which is what you should never do. As a man, you should never ignore the red flags. But also, what this red table talk really showed me was that they want to make it normal for men to forgive women for, I wouldn't say stepping out of a relationship, but I would say being untrustworthy in a relationship. They should be forgiven for that. And when she admitted to being in a relationship with August or Og, she basically went into, I was going through a bad time. I was broken. And it's like, okay, you were broken. You were broken, now what? What are you going to add to the fact that you were broken? Can you add any more to that? You were broken, then what? You were lonely? Did Will piss you off? Because Will made it very clear that he was done with the marriage. He made it clear he wanted to leave the marriage, but I think she convinced him to stay. I think she was able to say, you know what, we've been together for this long. We have this going. You don't want to ruin it, because I guarantee you she would have ruined him in court. She would have ruined him in court, I guarantee you. And he knew that. So he said, man, I'm between a rock and a hard place. What am I to do? So he's like, okay, well, if you don't do it again, we good. But then August Alsina come around and he brings it back up. And he brings it back up, man. He brings it back up. And you could tell on his face that he was frustrated. Will was frustrated. He thought that was over. He thought this whole situation that had been making him look bad was over. But it's not. It's only making him look more and more like a sympathetic figure, which actually may benefit him, but that's not how he wants to look. He doesn't want to be perceived as a failure as a husband anymore. Because I've told y'all about how he talked about how he failed in his first marriage, and he's going to be upset at himself because to him as a man, it's up to him to keep the relationship going in the right direction. It's up to him to not screw things up. And he needs to look at the person in front of him, because I don't think it was when they were just taking a break. I think it was going on before and after the break, to be honest with you. But she's going to make it seem like it wasn't. Why you think August Alsina is tripping out on Twitter right now? Because, man, listen, when you're dealing with somebody who's a bit manipulative, I think I've said that before about Jada Pinkett. She's very good with words, okay? She's very good at being able to make you feel like you're the problem and that you need to repent for all the issues that you're facing, that it's ultimately your fault and you need to make up for your inadequacies. She's very good at that. She's not the only one. And there are women that have a talent for that. They have a talent for being able to get men to basically take the blame, to look deep into themselves. But the one thing also is that marriage does change men. Marriage absolutely changes men. And that's why men don't divorce, because we do get comfortable in these marriages. And there are a lot of women who aren't comfortable in those marriages and they want out. They think that they can do better, you know? So they want the opportunity to be single again to prove they can do better. And if things don't work out like it did when Will and Jada broke up, then they'll go right back to the person that they were with. But ultimately, I didn't see any accountability in this Red Table Talk whatsoever. There was no accountability done. It was her making herself seem like she was a victim. And that's what happens when women get caught cheating. They always make themselves the victims. Okay? It's always they were upset, they were frustrated. You know, you messed around too. You were dealing with other women. You know, and that's their cue to go do what they do. But you never hear them say that until they get caught up. You know, until they're pointing the finger.